dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers. Losing a loved one is hard, but losing a loved one and not having an estate plan is even harder. Attorney Harlan Mitchell witnessed what not having an estate plan can do to families and decided to use his experience to do something about it. I encourage you to go to BamaEstatePlanning.com or give Harlan Mitchell a call at 256-216-9884. Again, that website is BamaEstatePlanning.com. Let Harlan Mitchell help you with estate planning. Do it for those you love, and do it today. You've heard me talk about telemedicine at Trinity Medical Care Center here on The Mark White Show. With Trinity Medical Care Center's telemedicine, you can skip the commute and get the care you need from the safety and comfort of your own home. You can contact Trinity Medical Care Center by calling 256-489-3192. You can also schedule an appointment on the web by going to trinity-medicalcare.com. Again, give them a call at 256-489-3192 and give telemedicine a try today.
Experience the difference at Athens Bible School. The vision and purpose is to provide each student a quality education in a Christ-centered environment to develop the whole person spiritually, mentally, physically, and socially in safe and supportive surroundings. The solid biblical foundation permeates learning and culture in the classrooms and every extracurricular activity.
Hey everybody, this is Daryl Worley, and you're listening to The Mark White Show. Hey, step up and make a difference like he does.
Hey y'all, this is Jeff Foxworthy, and you can make a huge difference in somebody's life. You just may not have figured out how yet, and that's why you're listening to The Mark White Show.
Hi, this is Maggie Peterson. I played Charlene Darling on The Andy Griffith Show, and you are listening to The Mark White Show.
Hi folks, this is Ricky Skaggs, and you're listening to The Mark White Show.
Hello, I'm Gene Stallings, and this is The Mark White Show. Get off the sideline and get involved and make a difference in your community.
You are listening to The Mark White Show. My daddy is your host, Mark White.
Do something good today.
Welcome to another edition of the Mark White Show. I'm so glad you all could join me today. I hope you're having a great day. We're coming off the Christmas holiday, and we're facing a new year, 2021. And one of the things that I think about are people who are hungry this time of year. It's not a problem just during the holidays, but year-round. And I found a person through, interestingly enough, it was the movie Pursuit of Happiness, and the inspiration of the movie was Chris Gardner. I went on Chris Gardner's page to simply find out more about him, and in the process of finding out more about Chris Gardner, I found Heather Greiser. She is the director of Kids Against Hunger Philadelphia, and so I actually just said, why don't you come on the show? And Heather agreed to come on the Mark White Show to talk about Kids Against Hunger Philadelphia. Welcome to the Mark White Show, Heather.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be on it.
Very glad to have you. You're a real estate agent, and you're also director of this organization in Philadelphia. What was your interest in pursuing Kids Against Hunger?
So I grew up always volunteering, and it was important for my family and I to instill that in our children. And so we used to volunteer with my kids all the time. And then we found out that a lot of the opportunities that we were volunteering in no longer allowed kids because they kind of grew and they kind of cut off on their age limit. So we were looking for something that families and children could do together and that we could make an impact in our local communities. My husband's been a stay-at-home dad for 16 years, so it was important for me to find something that we could give back to our community and that families and kids could get involved with. And we did a lot of different research on different charities, and hunger really struck us the most. I can tell you hunger statistics if you'd like, but I think reading into hunger and seeing the problems within our own community was something that I felt compelled. It sounds so crazy, but I thought I could solve hunger by selling real estate, which I know sounds really crazy, but that's kind of how it started in the basement of my house.
That's interesting. And how did you find this particular organization, Kids Against Hunger?
Just through different research. I reached out to different organizations. Their mission stuck with us the most. I reached out to them, and a gentleman by the name of Stephen McBee flew into Philadelphia, and we met. And I was sold on the organization after meeting with him. It was just their mission aligned with my mission. I do this strictly just to help people. I'm not looking to gain any profits off of any of this. So it's just something I know there's other organizations that do, and there's nothing wrong with that. It was just, for me, it was something I just wanted to give back. I loved their backstory. I loved their founder. And so it resonated with me.
It's interesting. You wanted to connect your career as a real estate agent with feeding the hungry, and felt like, as you said, you could combine the two and be able to help when it comes to hunger. How did you, I think that's something interesting for people to think about, is how they could take the job that they're currently doing and then parlay that into something that can make a difference in an extended way. What was your thinking along those lines to be able to do that?
So we run a family real estate team. So it's myself, my mom, and dad. And my mom's been licensed since 1979, so a little over 40 years in the business, owned our own company for 10 years. And it was just something that I felt that we had a really great business. And we were very, like I said, my husband's been a stay-at-home dad. And so it's something that I felt that we sold enough houses that with every house we sell, we donate a percentage of our commissions to Kids Against Hunger Philadelphia to feed a family for a year. And so I kind of, in my mind, I was thinking large, I don't nearly sell that many houses that I could end world hunger, but I was thinking through each of our commission dollars, we're feeding families. And then my hope was that would grow. We would invite clients, friends, communities to events, and other people would catch on to that and want to help as well.
That's go ahead. I'm sorry.
Interestingly enough, I don't market so much the real estate aspect of it, because while I feel like some days I sell real estate to feed families. I mean, I love my career in real estate. I have a passion for helping people. And so I don't correlate the two so much. Most people find out about the charity when they go to settlement, and I give them a certificate that they fed a family for a year through their real estate purchase or sale.
Well, obviously people have to make a living, right? I mean,
Yeah.
So you think about, you have to make a living, because if you're struggling yourself with bills, if you're not being able to make your house payment, your car payment, or whatever else you have, then you're not able to help other people so much.
Right.
When I think about the Mark White Show, and I think about what I'm trying to do here in the community across the country and the world, I think about the fact that I have sponsors for the show. And I'm able to do what I do because of sponsors that come be a part of the show. And I have to keep working, moving forward in that to be able to do what I do. And we certainly, as somebody is out there working right now, if they're in a position to be able to help, I would encourage them to do the same. If there's something that they can do through their job that maybe they have a bonus or some other thing that comes up where they can help a program like Kids Against Hunger, I would encourage them to do that, wouldn't you?
I would. So I started this 5.5 years ago, August of 2015. We've packaged over 7 million meals. This year alone, in 2020, we'll pack over 2.5 million meals. In 2021, we are expected to pack close to 4 million meals. We run a backpack program here in partnership with Phil Abundance. So we feed over 14,000 families every single month, all local.
Wow. And when I talked to you yesterday, you guys had started at 9 o'clock that morning, Eastern Standard Time, and all the way through the evening boxing meals. What is the environment like when you're working with people and knowing that you're doing something like this to help others?
It's so fun. It's prior to COVID, we would have a room full of 50 volunteers. So we limit the number of volunteers now. We're in a little bit over 4,000 square feet warehouse space. So we limit our volunteers in there. Everybody that comes in there just wants to give and help. It's a great environment. It's fun. We have a lot of fun doing it. We always say that when you're in there, you're feeding two types of hunger. So we're feeding the hunger of the families that receive our food, but then you're feeding a hunger within to give back. I think everybody wants to help. I don't think people necessarily know how. And we always say, if you can't contribute financially to us, your time is just as valuable as the financial donations, because we pack 350,000 meals every single month, and couldn't do it without our volunteers. So this week is a crazy week. The meals get picked up on Monday, so we have to have 24 pallets packed and ready. So we're full shift all week.
And you mentioned that you were raised with that mindset to volunteer, to give back, and you've done the same with your kids. And you said this was something you could incorporate with your children, that they could learn the same value system.
Yes. And it's great to see kids and families coming in together and talking about it. I mean, when you talk about hunger, 1 out of every 6 kids in the United States is food insecure. And so I think when you really think about that, and you think like, we're feeding 14,000 local families every month, and we're not even putting a dent in hunger. They're crazy numbers to think about. It's actually very sad to think about.
Speaking of putting a dent in hunger, I want people to be able to find out how to help the special organization Kids Against Hunger Philadelphia. And if you're okay with it, we'll take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to share a little more about Kids Against Hunger Philadelphia, and also how people can contribute, how they can participate. Is that okay?
That would be great.
Folks, we're talking to Heather Greiser right now. She is the director of Kids Against Hunger Philadelphia. I hope you'll stick with us. You are listening to The Mark White Show and another edition of the Mary Faye Headrick Good Deeds segment.
A friendly smile's a tiny price to pay. Let's all do something good today. A little wink, a pat on the back, a big old hug, a little laugh. We can make a difference. All we have to do is try. Yeah, every day's a chance to change somebody else's life. Let's all do something good today.
Thompson Roofing and Construction is a locally owned family business serving the North Alabama and Southern Tennessee area. They are a Better Business Bureau A+ member since 2011 and a GAF Master Elite Contractor. Give them a call at 256-952-3309 or check them out on the web at 256roofing.com. They offer free inspections.
Thompson Roofing and Construction.
Hey, hey, good looking. What you got cooking?
Hey, good looking. Don't worry about cooking. Head over to Tuscumbia, Alabama, grab a bite to eat, and visit the Alabama Music Hall of Fame, where they're honoring Alabama's music achievers. To plan your visit, go to alamhof.com or give them a call at 256-381-4417. Is it time for a haircut? Go see my friends Philip Butler and B.H. Parker at Southwind Barbershop, located at 1637 Lee Street in Rogersville, Alabama. Give them a call at 256-247-5658. That's 256-247-5658.
Mr. Cecil Batchelor is the one that started this business as Dependable Service Center. And even though now it's Green's Dependable Hardware and we're a True Value store, our tagline is still Your Dependable Service Center. We've tried to keep that alive for all these years. Mr. Batchelor really started a good business. We're really excited to be carrying on a long-standing tradition. It's the oldest retail store in the city of Russellville. We're Green's Dependable Hardware, 15220A Highway 43 in Russellville, Alabama. We're right behind McDonald's or right across the street from the hospital. Number's 256-331-0123.
Your Dependable Service Center.
Hi, I'm Crystal Gale, and you're listening to The Mark White Show. And one smile can make a difference. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Someone loves you, I do.
To the city, works extra hard all day, finishes up early so he can get away, 'cause there's a blue-eyed kid on second base, wants dad to watch him play. Daddy knows he's waiting, so he hurries on.
Welcome back to the Mark White Show and the Mary Faye Headrick Good Deed segment. I am your host, Mark White, and we have been talking to Heather Greiser, and she's in Philadelphia. She's the director of Kids Against Hunger Philadelphia. Welcome back to the Mark White Show, Heather.
Thank you.
So glad to have you, and we've talked about the spirit of why you wanted to be a part of this special organization, the research that you did to find it, and then how you've tried to relay your real estate business into giving Kids Against Hunger Philadelphia. And you talked about the fact that when you put out 14,000 meals and you're doing everything you can and you have a team of people who come together to do this, I would say that there are a lot of thankful people. They're thankful that you're doing what you're doing to make a difference. What has been the response from the community for this special effort?
Honestly, the response has been overwhelming. I mean, I have the most supportive and wonderful, first of all, family, as well as my group of volunteers. And I couldn't do any of this without any of them. During the whole shutdown, we continued to pack 210,000 meals every single day. My family put in the first month by ourselves, 10, 12 hours a day packing food. And we opened it up and allowed 10 volunteers that we had pack with us every single day, 6 hours every single day of the week to get those meals packed, because we had those families depending on us. And so I think the community, I could not do this without all of our wonderful volunteers. It's a heartwarming organization to be a part of, and it's a heartwarming place to be, because everybody, I mean, we always say you come as strangers and leave as friends. There's been some great friendships that arrived from all this.
One of the things that I want to highlight, though, is that if you don't make the decision, if you're not raised to volunteer, to give back, then you never look into Kids Against Hunger Philadelphia. You never look into Kids Against Hunger, and therefore there's no team, and there's nobody who joins the effort, and there's no 14,000 meals. It takes that first step to make a difference, and that would be my message to anybody listening right now, is to take that first step, because you have no meals if you don't have the background that you had wanting to volunteer.
Right. I have two of the best parents a kid could ever ask for. I'm not a kid anymore, but I have two of the best parents. And I'm lucky to call them like my best friends.
That is awesome. You know, one of the things I bring out through my show, and Chris, the reason I found you was he had two questions that he liked to ask. Well, I have two questions I like to ask, and it's who made a difference in your life, and how are you making a difference in the lives of others today because of that? And I think those two questions are very important when we think about who was it that influenced our life, who was it that impacted our life, where we're doing what we do. And for you, it sounds like your parents.
Yes. definitely my parents and teachers along the way. I mean, I have very fond memories of many of my teachers. I would say one that stands out probably the most was my 8th grade teacher. Her name was Sister Mary, and I did a lot with the Immaculate Heart Sisters, is who they're affiliated with, and I did a lot of volunteer work all starting in grade school. And just from those experiences and from my parents and being raised by always striving to give back and looking to, who needs what and how we can help them, have been some great influences in my life.
And Heather, I think your kids are going to be able to say the same about you.
Well, I hope so.
Well, that's the goal, isn't it? I mean, we reciprocate, or we learn these values from people that care about us, and then we in turn live those values, and then the next generation comes up, we teach them, and as we continually do that, the generation after generation, it perpetuates the goodness or the good deeds and making a difference in our communities, as small as it may seem, and as hard as it may seem to penetrate that wall, which seems to be one of those things where even you said it, we're thinking about putting a dent in hunger. We've got to do something, though. We can't say, well, I can only do a small thing, therefore I shouldn't do anything at all.
Right. Every little bit helps. Every little bit helps. Every meal is 25 cents. So we say every quarter helps. It doesn't, it's any amount helps, and any amount of time helps.
We want to make sure that we spend enough time here that listeners and followers can find Kids Against Hunger Philadelphia. They can be a part of this organization. They can help you in your effort along with this great team of people. I know I have listeners all over the country, so people can, look up Kids Against Hunger. They can also find the specific organizations within their area. But right now, Kids Against Hunger Philadelphia, how can people be a part of this effort?
We have a website, packthebackpacks.com. You can sign up on that website to help. We run shifts 7 days a week. You can donate financially on that website. You can also support our real estate team on that website. And then we have a Facebook page, Kids Against Hunger Philadelphia, where we post constant updates on that. And all of our contact information is on both of those sites.
I think that's great. And I'm glad the way I found you. That's an interesting story that Chris Gardner has. Obviously, it was made into a movie that Will Smith starred in, but the very fact that I found you through that page and able to connect and find you as a difference maker, I love that.
I love that too.
It's kind of cool.
It is.
If people want to get in touch with you, Heather, and find out more details, again, they can go on the website. Is that correct?
Yes. All of my contact information is on the website and our Facebook page.
Excellent. Kids Against Hunger Philadelphia. Heather, I am so glad that you could join me here on the Mark White Show today and share about this effort. And I hope that we've said enough where people are interested in going to check it out. And then maybe even in their area, if they're not in Philadelphia or their surrounding area, that they can find an opportunity to make a difference themselves.
Absolutely, because there's hunger doesn't discriminate. So we pack 350,000 meals minimally every single month. And there's always a need to do more. And so hunger doesn't discriminate. So there's lots of help needed.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate your giving, and we appreciate people in the community who are willing to rally around this effort and to make a difference together. And we appreciate you joining us here on the Mark White Show today.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. I'm honored to be on it.
Folks, we've been talking to Heather Greiser. She is the director of Kids Against Hunger Philadelphia. We hope you'll check it out. You have been listening to another edition of the Mark White Show and the Mary Faye Headrick Good Deeds segment.
These are my kind of people.
Hi, everybody. This is DJ Thomas. Raindrops may be falling on your head, but on Kyla's Corner, she's living life sunny side up.
Nothing seems to fit.
You are my sunshine, my only.
This is Kyla Carter of Kyla's Corner. You can hear my segment every Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time and 11 a.m. Eastern Time on The Mark White Show. Remember to tune in every Saturday and always live life sunny side up.
Please don't take my sunshine. sunshine away.
If you like hickory smoked ribs that fall apart at the slightest pull, or barbecue shoulders that are so slow smoked each tender bite melts in your mouth, then you are going to love Baby Jack's Barbecue. Baby Jack's Barbecue in Bartlett and Arlington. Try the barbecue chicken, beef brisket sandwich, barbecue potato, it is huge, or the Baby Jack Trio, pork, turkey, or beef brisket sliders. You like wet ribs? They like dry ribs. Get one slab that has them both. Catering? Baby Jack's can feed a family or an army. Drive in, drive through, order online, or come in and set a minute. Baby Jack's Barbecue in Bartlett at Highway 70 in Appling, or in Arlington at Highway 70 just a block west of 385.
Do you have knee, shoulder, elbow, and other joint pain? Would you like immediate relief without surgery? Let me introduce you to Dr. Michael Farah, who's been serving patients around the world since 1986. At Freedom Medical Center and Trinity Medical Care, you can get platelet-rich plasma injections and other treatments. Dr. Farah is your choice for cosmetic and regenerative medicine. Schedule your consult today at Trinity Medical Care by calling 256-489-3192. That's Trinity Medical Care, located at 8010 South Parkway in Huntsville. Walk-ins are welcome.
Hello, my name is Christian Martinez. I'm a rising senior at Athens Bible School. My school is great because of the wonderful environment in which students can grow and flourish. We have great academics that include the University Preparatory Diploma and dual enrollment courses that lead to an associate's degree before high school graduation. All my teachers and the school's employees are Christians who are devoted to the welfare of students. We have an excellent student body, competitive sports program, and study the Bible first thing every day. It's a great place. Please consider joining us at ABS next year, or give that special child in your life the great opportunity I have.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers. Losing a loved one is hard, but losing a loved one and not having an estate plan is even harder. Attorney Harlan Mitchell witnessed what not having an estate plan can do to families and decided to use his experience to do something about it. I encourage you to go to BamaEstatePlanning.com or give Harlan Mitchell a call at 256-216-9884. Again, that website is BamaEstatePlanning.com. Let Harlan Mitchell help you with estate planning. Do it for those you love, and do it today. Once again, we appreciate Heather Greiser for joining us here on the Mark White Show today to talk about Kids Against Hunger Philadelphia. You can go to Facebook at Kids Against Hunger Philadelphia. You can also check out the website at packthebackpacks.com or give them a call at 484-995-7730. Here on the Mark White Show, we're trying to make a difference every single day. And as we go into 2021, I hope that you'll encourage your friends, neighbors, and families to join the Mark White Show effort to find a way that you can make a difference in your community. You can follow the Mark White Show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can also subscribe to the Mark White Show podcast via Apple iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Audio Boom, SoundCloud, Blueberry, and even find the Mark White Show on YouTube. This is Mark White encouraging you to find your purpose by making a difference in someone's life today.
Let's all do something good today. Oh, won't you hear me, people, when I say, well, let's all do something good